Gapo Osio. Today I'm going to talk about the one thing that most of your spiritual gurus, most of your conscious folks, they're not talking about this. And as a disclaimer, obviously I'm not talking about every single spiritual guru or every single conscious person. But in my journey, when I look to the left and the right, the collective of these individuals, they're not talking about this one particular thing. They're not talking about what I believe can make or break you during this spiritual journey, during a healing journey in general. So today I want to talk about that pretty deep into my own spiritual journey, my own healing journey, that I realize this shit hurts. No one prepared me, although it's no one's job to prepare me, but from all the people I was listening to and all the things that I would run across in the conscious community, the spiritual awakening community, and the intuitive, astrological, empath, light workers in that community of beautiful, gifted beings, most people, almost all of them, were not talking about the pain, the uncomfortableness, the downright depression, the low frequency, the low vibration, the low of the lowest of lows that you will feel and that you will go through. And I think I know why they're not talking about it. If someone told you how chaotic, how confusing, how painful, how potentially depressive something would be, would you do it? Well, for me, it would depend on, is it going to stay like this? Like, I will have additional questions, but as a beginner who's looking to begin my spiritual journey, I would want to know the whole picture so that I can make that decision for myself. So I see why most people aren't talking about the ugly part of awakening, the ugly part of the spiritual journey, the ugly part of healing. If we told them how it was going to be, most of them would have never started. But maybe if we just leave out that part, they'll begin the journey and they'll be in deep enough that when the time comes for the chaos and confusion and the really, really low vibrational days, they'll be in it too far to go back. And that's exactly how I felt. When the lowest of lows hit, I thought to myself, I've done so good. I've worked on myself so much. This hurts like shit, but there's no way I'm going back. It's as if the creator, or however you identify, if you want to say God, say God. I'm going to do what I do, and what I say in private, I'm going to share here. So I say spirit. I have a collective divine team, and you'll hear me use those words interchangeably, but know that I'm talking about my higher source, my creator. And when I mention my divine collective team, that's my ancestors, my spirit guides, my angels, the creator, that's all of them in the spiritual world. So it seems like spirit knows all of this, right? They know that once you get to a certain point in your spiritual journey, they're not going to go back when it gets tough because you've come so far. So you see, when I reached that lowest of low point in my spiritual journey, and my sister, DJ, if you're watching, hey sis, she and I, we would talk, and we're very similar, but just like all of us, we have our own unique paths. And how she reacted to the lowest of lows is different from me. And I think that's beautiful because it gives me a different perspective on how this information is received by someone other than myself. And I'm so thankful that I had her, and I still have her to this day, along with my other sisters, to help me during this process. And it's funny because we're all beginners together. So anyway, that's a video for another day. So for some, when you reach the lowest of lows during your spiritual journey, you might be upset Well, nobody told me it was going to be this painful. Nobody told me it was going to hurt this bad. Why am I hurting? What about them? The person who's done me wrong, the people who continue to do you wrong. The circumstances, they're not getting any better. Why? In fact, they're getting worse. It feels that way, I know. Some of you all are going through that right now. And you're like, does it get any better? It just feels like everything just piles on top of you and it's hard for you to breathe. Some of you all will feel like giving up. I mean, really giving up. And your feelings, your emotions are valid. You have a right to feel every single emotion that you feel. And that includes anger, that includes disappointment, frustration, whatever it might be. That's a part of the journey. I believe that this lowest of low point is the most crucial, the most pivotal part of your journey. When you can make it past that, Spirit says, he's ready, she's ready. And your blessings, your manifestations start to come in, they start to trickle in. Some, a big rush might come in, while others it trickles in, but nevertheless you see, wow, I did that, I went through that. And now doors are beginning to open for me. Now I'm finally seeing the things that I've been asking for, that I've been praying for, that I've been manifesting. And I'm not saying that you won't have another challenging period on your journey, but this part right here will give you the tools that you need to figure out the next challenge. And when the next challenge comes, it will not hurt like that one did. Because the new you, the evolved you, you've learned, and you will never allow yourself to go back there again. You will use all of the things that you've learned. I like to call them blessing lessons. When I was going through those tough times, I chose to change my perception. This isn't something bad. This is not something negative. This is a lesson. There's a blessing in that lesson. And then I told my sister, I was like, it's a blessing lesson. And it stuck around. She uses it to this day, and so do I. To this day, like it happened years ago. This is months ago. So if you find yourself in your spiritual journey right now and you feel like giving up, you feel depressed, you feel as if it was a waste of your time, don't give up. This is the hardest part. And know that once you make it past here, you can make it through anything. Your rucksack, your book bag, you got all the tools you need back there. Your faith is so much stronger than it has ever been. And your Creator needs you to have this type of faith. It needs your rucksack to be filled with the right tools, because where you are going, you're going to need everything that you've learned along the way. So you keep on pushing and you don't give up. And if you're a spiritual guru or someone in the spiritual community, the conscious community, and you haven't talked about this, maybe you should. And if you are a spiritual guru or someone in the spiritual community who has talked about this topic, thank you. I'll see you all in another video. Take care. Kowamanes, Gageya. I love you. Goodbye for now. Ana.